So we have about 200 laying chickens. We currently have about 500 broilers, and we have about 10 sheep. So we have 9 mama sheeps and 1 ram. And then we have 11 babies this year, so that's a total of about 21 sheep. And then we have about 45 cows, so that's kind of various sizes. They're not all big ones. I absolutely love cows. Cows are like my babies, and they're my pets. You do need help doing this kind of job, but a lot of girls mistakenly think that they need a man or something to be able to run everything. And yes, men come in handy, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of things that you can do by yourself when you put your mind to it. And it's not always the easiest way, but you are capable of doing those things. Because when you have animals that depend on you and you don't have anyone else, you have to make it work, otherwise the animals suffer. So you just kind of have to come to terms with things and figure out, you have to work smarter, not harder. I was allergic to gluten for most of my life, and I was very sick for a big part of it. And when I finally got about 18, I was diagnosed with celiac disease, and I realized that what you eat has a big impact on your health. And so out of that came an urge to grow my own food and to know where my food was coming from and take responsibility for what was going in my mouth. And I kind of realized that there were a lot of other people out there that were looking for the same thing. And they wanted that accountability and that relationship between them and their farmer. The feed that we use for our chickens, for example, we use a non-GMO, non-soy feed that's based out of peanut and milo and sorghum. And so basically that comes out of Waco, it's locally milled, and they use local farmers. And so we try to find things like that where we can't be organic, we try to find things that are local, that are supporting local communities instead. I worked office jobs before we came out here, and just the ability to sit and daydream without having to play with my phone. I mean, it's just when you're out in nature, you stop and you look around, and I mean, I make a point of it almost every day, whether or not I'm working or just sitting on the porch, to sit and watch the sunset. And it's just that peace that comes over you from knowing that this is what people were meant to do. And watching the animals mosey around and graze, it's very peaceful. And I think that mental peace and tranquility that you get from that, even though it's not always the easiest job, I mean, you have a lot of stress that comes with it, but I think it has benefits to that. I mean, here in Tyler, I think we do have a lot of resources for people to access those things at the state parks, but it's just a lot easier to remember to go outside and appreciate nature when you live in it.